Hello guys, and welcome to a very different video than the ones I usually post. Today, instead of reviews or showcase, I want to talk about my top 5 games or game announcements that I want to hear the most in 2022. Some games are confirmed to have a 2022 window release, whilst the others not really, but any news for them is a huge dub for me. Starting off in top 5 is God of War Ragnarok. I recently reviewed the God of War of 2018 and I mentioned how the story of the game was really enjoyable and how the characters were done so well that I did understand why Marvel's Spiderman, which was my favorite game for 2018, came second to it. God of War Ragnarok is set to be released in 2022 and based from the trailers and the endgame teasers, we see a more mature Kratos and Atreus being chased by the gods as war is upon them. The trailer shows Thor chasing them while the heroes move around trying to stop a war before Ragnarok, whilst at the same time Atreus wants to seek answers of his mom's name Loki and what his part on this tale is. The trailer also showed a glimpse of the former god of war of Asgard, Tyr. The gameplay seems to have improved the formula of the prior game with plenty of additions for the hero's skill set. For example, we see Atreus riding an elk. At the same time, familiar faces such as Mimir, Sindri and Brock, who got familiarized in the first game, also appear in the trailer. Look, there is nothing left to say. God of War is a highly anticipated game and one that everybody loved since the PlayStation 2 era, and seeing Kratos will always bring hype to casual or even hardcore fans. On my number 4 is not a game that is confirmed to be released in 2022, but I really want to hear more about it, and is the upcoming Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2. Although Square Enix did not tease the sequel in an actual teaser, it should be expected that in 2022 we'll hear more about the sequel. Final Fantasy VII Remake was released in 2020, and a DLC expansion was released in 2021, introducing Yuffie of Wutai. Tetsuya Nomura did confirm that in between Part 1 and Part 2 will only be this DLC and nothing else. Final Fantasy VII is one of my favorite games, and the remake was a game I deeply fell in love with, even though it came with the Nomura bizarre vision of it. Square did confirm that the second game was being developed, and although the pandemic did mess with them, it wasn't as much as the hassle of others. The original remake left the heroes in the streets after leaving Sector 7. Anyone familiar with the game should know that this is only the first tenth of the game. Although some story elements should be known to plenty, the remake does make things slightly different and introduces new interesting characters. One of the things I'm mainly looking forward to is more about Zack Fair, as based from the remake and the DLC, we see him alive and searching for Aerith in what we assume is a parallel universe. Moving in 2022, if Square is to tease Part 2 or even show a full-length trailer with the release window for 2023, I'd be extremely happy. The number 3 spot is claimed by the sequel of the indie game Hollow Knight, and more specifically, Hollow Knight Silksong. The story of Hollow Knight is very straightforward, but the developers, Team Cherry, put so much effort into making and build a greater world. Hollow Nest, which was the location of the first game, had so many civilizations and lore items that easily made Hollow Knight one of the greatest games I played in 2021. The sequel, Hollow Knight Silksong, was first teased back in 2019, and alongside it there was a trailer without any official release date confirmation. Since then, there have been some news here and there through magazines, interviews with developers. However, Silksong disappeared for a while. Team Cherry has been silent for a while, as the fan base of the series keep begging for more news. Team Cherry is taking their time to deliver a polished game that will live up to the hype. Silksong is set to follow the story of the Princess Hornet as she leaves Hollow Nest to enter the kingdom of Farlung. Who knows what mysteries and lore elements are hidden behind that kingdom? Given the fact that we're going in 2022, this will mark 3 years since the first trailer. I want to believe that Team Cherry will soon show a release date and maybe the PS5 confirmation. In my number 2 spot is once again not a confirmed game, but I want to hear more about Square Enix's Kingdom Hearts franchise. 2022 marks 20 years anniversary for the series, and the director Tetsuya Nomura said that Kingdom Hearts will go huge for the 20th anniversary. This year, the anniversary project began with the release of Sora as the final DLC hero for Smash Bros. Ultimate, and a Switch release for all the Kingdom Hearts games. They also announced the Ichiban Kuchi Kingdom Hearts figurines of Sora and Kairi on their thrones, taken from Nomura's art for Kingdom Hearts All-in-One and Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory. The final 3 announcements we got in 2021 was the release of the chessboard, the Disney Kingdom Hearts Hotel, and the announcement and confirmation that there will be a huge event in 2022 for the Kingdom Hearts series. So who knows, maybe they'll announce the next big installment of the franchise. Kingdom Hearts has been my favorite series ever since the PS2 era, and it has some of my favorite heroes in there. Kingdom Hearts 3 Remake did introduce us to Yozora and the secret ending, which sparked plenty of theories online, and Melody of Memory did set the stage for Riku to find and rescue Sora. It's gone without saying, whatever direction Kingdom Hearts go, I 100% will be there to continue this adventure. There have been no official confirmation for Kingdom Hearts 4, so whatever direction Nomura chooses, I have faith in him. Before heading to my number 1, I would like to mention a few honorable mentions, starting with the one and only Sonic the Hedgehog and the Sonic Frontiers. This year, we got a teaser for the upcoming Sonic project with an open release window for 2022, so who knows, maybe we'll get a trailer, or even the game release, I don't know. And whilst we're in the topic of Sega, I would also like to see Atlas Team producing the next Persona, and by that I mean Persona 6. I'm not a huge Persona fan, don't get me wrong, as out of the current 5, I only played Persona 5 games, Persona 5 Ultimate and Persona 5 Strikers. However, I genuinely enjoyed my time with the universe of Persona 5, and honestly I wanna see what direction 6 will go. We also have release dates for Horizon Zero Dawn, which the first game, I'm gonna be 100% honest, I did not really enjoy it, but I'm not gonna lie, the more trailers they show for the sequel, it climbed itself to my interest. The story seems very interesting and the gameplay improved, so who knows? Insomnia Games, back in Sony's State of Play, did tease a Wolverine project earlier this year, and I got myself interested. I really enjoyed the Wolverine Origin game back in the PSP and PS3, and Insomnia Games became one of my favorite studios with recent releases such as Spiderman, Miles Morales, Resistance, and of course Ratchet & Clank. My final honorable mention belongs to VanillaWare Studios and their upcoming project. Yeah, okay, I'm just kidding. It's Blizzard. Blizzard announced both Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2, and although I played both games, these being Diablo 3 and Overwatch, it goes without saying that I really prefer Overwatch, and anything they show about Overwatch 2, maybe a release date, maybe more story events, anything they show, I'm on for it. I mean, it's been 2 years since the official trailer, so get on with it, Blizzard. And now, to the moment we've all been waiting for. The game I want to hear the most in 2022 is anything new related to the 2023 Marvel Spider-Man game. Insomnia made the best Spider-Man representation in a while and reawakened my Spider-Man inner fan. Marvel Spider-Man 2018 was a masterpiece in my opinion and easily one of the best PlayStation 4 games. In 2020, the spin-off game Miles Morales was released, and although it took place in the same universe, it managed to separate Miles to Spider-Man in a very unique way. The third game teased both Spider-Man working together while the voice of Kraven the Hunter talks above. The teaser also shows the highly anticipated Venom, who has been teased in both games. Since the inception of the first game, I wanted to see how Peter will react to Harry not being in vacation, but instead being sick and also him becoming Venom. Since reading the book prior to the game, this was a bond that Peter wanted to keep even though the Spider-Man life kept intercepting. The 2018 game also shows Peter talk about Harry and how much he misses him. The same can be seen with Mary Jane during the Oscorp infiltration. She also seems to be missing of Harry, and she did discover he was sick, which she told Peter. However, nobody knows what is expecting them. During the Miles Morales game, Harry was revealed to be released from his slumber as Norman Osborn decides to release him. The game will definitely have an amazing story filled with emotional scenes appearing throughout the game. I'm really looking forward to that game. More trailers, more anything, Spider-Man, here we go. Well, this is my list for the most anticipated game releases and certain game related news. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Do you agree with me, or do you think I missed something? And I know some games were missing, such as the Untitled Chapter, whether or not they'll release a DLC or a full-on sequel. Black Myth Wukong game looks really sick, and even AAA games such as The Elden Ring, but hey, this is my list, that's what I'm looking forward to. Tell me in the comments below what are your lists of top 5 and what I might have missed. Till then, take care and I'll see you all in the next one. See ya!